we thank you for inviting us. It's unfortunate today we do not have our colleague in the struggle, our brother, a colleague leader, Dr. Kano Chiza Besigye. It's unfortunate that we don't even have a government that observes the Constitution. Whatever charges were put against Dr. Chiza Besigye and our other colleague Haji Obed Rutari, whatever charges were put against them, whatever the processes of trial and anything else, whatever the problems that there are in that process, but there is a constitutional provision that if anybody serves 180 days, he automatically gets bail. They have even contravened that. But the struggle has to continue until our colleagues, not only Dr. Chiza Besigye and Dr. Rutare, but all other colleagues in the struggle who are in prison in various places in this country. There are many young people of NUP who are in prisons all over. Many of opposition parties, some don't even have parties. They are there in prisons. That struggle has to continue. We thank the lawyers who have sustained that effort. The leader of PFF, Honorable Lodi Elias Lukwago, we thank you for the effort that you have consistently put up. May the Lord give you strength and resilience to continue with all the teams of leaders, national as well as regional and international, to pursue that until freedom of our colleagues is achieved. We've come here as a delegation. You have seen 5 of us. We are 8. Those of you who may recall what happened last week, I think, last week when we signed the Memorandum of Understanding. There is the central body of this cooperation under the MOU called the Common Ground Council. And it has 8 from PFF, 8 from Alliance for National Transformation. Here, as we've been introduced, we are 5. There are 3 colleagues who are not around. Honorable Kasiano Wadri, who is in West Nile, has not been able to come. There is Honorable Winnie Chiza, who is, I think, in Sierra Leone. She's outside, she's not around here. And the 8th one is Ambassador Edith Sempala, who is not here. Our apologies on their behalf. There are a number of reasons why we need to work together as people who want to see change in this country. Not only change of regime, but change in the manner in which governance is conducted in this country. Because we've been in a vicious cycle for 60-something years. Regimes change, the direction of governance remains the same. It's a culture which is deeply entrenched. And there must be a team of leaders who need to understand that beyond regime change, which by all means we must put effort behind to do, to achieve, fulfill, that the largest struggle is in how to change our country and put it on track in terms of good governance. One, MOU is mostly around the short term, which is this coming election. Even within that, PFF and the NT recognize that there are other parties that we can reach out to. And that council will work on that. But we don't have to agree 100%. That if there are 5 issues, even if we agree on 4 or 3, we can work around those that we agree on and have the discipline not to quarrel over the 2 or even 3 that we don't agree upon. Why is that important? Because the country is bleeding. Many of you are young here, even by demographics in the country. Under 35 are 75%. So many of you did not have the misfortune of going through turmoil that we've gone through as a country. It's not only Uganda. When politics goes off track, a lot of wrong things can happen. I can give an example of a country which is unique on this continent. In fact, we have our troops there, Somalia. Somalia are literally the same people. They speak the same language. They are culturally the same. In terms of religion, 99 point something are Muslim. So they don't even have religious differences in Somalia. But they broke down. So their breaking down was not because of strife, religious strife, nor was it ethnic strife. Their strife originates from clans. You can imagine, clans. But the problem even then is not clans, is poor governance. So when we talk about the need and desire to work together as forces of change, it is to avoid a situation where this happens. Because though General Museveni certainly as a sitting president, he holds power over the army, security services, and other institutions certainly which have broken down incidentally. But he does not have control, nor is he in charge of the dynamics of change. Dynamics of change always create their own life and nobody can stop them. People who are observant, people who are able to analyze things deeply, you can see the dynamics of change at work. Yes. They may be slow, but they are relentless. That's why you see someone like Mugabe, whom everybody thought was in charge, and they were saying, Mugabe, where can Mugabe go? You saw what happened. Always. And therefore, we thank God that we are able to regroup. Because their aim also lies another lesson to the country. General Museveni over time has consciously, deliberately, and in a systematic way created a state of being in our country to make it seem that when people disagree, that necessarily you become hostile to each other, almost that you become enemies. That's why you are in the country for purposes of psychologically influencing the thinking of the people, us versus them. He's good at deception. There is no doubt about that. You have to give it to him. He's thorough at deception. Because he knows that when you have the people who are disempowered, when you have the people who have lost hope, when you have the people who have got frustrated, it is easy to control them and manipulate them. I thank God that we have regrouped. because it must signal the population that you may have disagreements, but you don't have to be hostile to one another. You don't become enemies. Because our separation in the case was never personal, it was on strategy and methods, that's all. But we're also mature people across the aisle. On our side as NT, on the side of PFF. We are mature and we learn from lessons of the past as we continue to shape the future that we desire to see happen. It's tough, but we have got capability to maneuver, even within challenging times. We will maneuver. We don't understand. So. Lastly, where there is a desire for us to work together, those who desire to see change, what change in terms of getting into power and removing those who are there and getting in there is a foregone conclusion, only that we don't know the date. But resuscitating a people who've been so broken down to regain hope, to regain self, a sense of self-worth, self-worth, self-worth. Because that's also another area where General Museveni has worked systematically to break down the people. Their sense of self-worth, the majority of them is gone. And yet, the strength of a country is never on infrastructure. He keeps talking about roads, he talks about dams, he talks about electricity. Libya had more than we have. Iraq had more than we have. Sudan had more than we have. But where is that infrastructure in all those countries? But that point, and we really need to work on it every moment that we have. When you find a leadership which breaks down the people, I have said this, I keep saying it over and over until it sinks in people's consciousness. When people will scramble for 1,000 shillings, 2,000 shillings, give up their right, their fundamental right of choice, and replace it with 1,000, 2,000 shillings, that's a population that is being brought down to its knees. Countries which prosper, see countries which are almost like us, same level of development. They went through challenges. Countries like Vietnam,